I'm walking down the street, laughing with my friends. A cute guy rolls up, showing all the right trends. He's got a rust tattoo, says crabs are my jam. But I'm not talking code, he's itching where he stands. Was hoping he was the one, but his junk's a rusty gun. Tiny tool can't get it done. Crabs crawling, nowhere to run. Reacts too slow, AI's his crutch. This coder's life's a little too much. So we go back to his place. Small but clean, lots of tech. Screens glowing like his face, but his sex a loading wreck. He's a React bro, oh so proud. Check my app, takes half the night. 3 megs for hello world, and his dick's just as light. Was hoping he was the one, but his junk's a rusty gun. Can't come, reacts to blame. Infinite loops kill the game. Crabs in his pants, AI in bed. This geek's a flop, I'm seeing red. Things heat up, I'm like, let's go. He freezes, starts to sweat. Whips out his phone real slow. ChatGPT, how sex met. No moves, no groove, no skill. Just prompts for where to aim. His crabby little buddy still. And I'm done with this lame. Was hoping he was the one, but his junk's a rusty gun. Tiny prick, STD parade. React flags, got his sex delayed. AI's his wingman, what a bore. I'm out the door, can't take no more. Rust fanatic scratching crabs. React dev stuck in low time traps. AI coder sex, it's a bot. These nerds ain't hot, they're just a plot. Yeah. Walking down the street with my honeys, looking all nice like Playboy bunnies. I stumble on a man, I say sorry. He looks me up, down, says don't worry. Asks me for a date, I say yes. Hands me his business card with finesse. The card's a URL to a website. He says my number's on that page, see it tonight. Front-end developers like to put on shows. Flash UI, but performance never grows. Give their junk a touch, it explodes. The likelihood of pleasure no one knows. Erectile dysfunction is the true game. 2 pumps on the mouse, limp shame. Their sites load longer than they could ever last. I get home with the card clutched in hand. Get on my laptop and on the URL I land. A fancy loading spinner, all just a wait. Made
Okay,
with
folks.
React, didn't realize my fate. 20 minutes later.
I think I'm just about ready. Yeah, let me turn off the music. And we'll do this. All right, let me catch up on chat. What's up, Matisse? What's up, D on X? What's up, Frozen? Good to see you. What's up, Ghost? Yeah, there's not much I can do about the broadcast. I do restream, and it's a bit out of my hands. So it is what it is on the X side, but appreciate it. What's up, Pierre? Oh, Sergeant. Sergeant's here. Hey, Sergeant, I made the song for you. I made it. Thanks, D. I appreciate it, D. Should I play the song? Should I play the song? Should I play this? Should I play the epic rap battle of programming, Rust versus TypeScript? I mean, I have one, but Sergeant doesn't count. I need a vote here. What's up, Ernesto on YouTube? Good to see you. You need a song of jQuery versus React? You got it, D. You got it. Yeah. I can't play Rust versus TypeScript. I made it yesterday, and I can't play it unless I have somebody else say that they want to hear it. Otherwise, we're going to get right into the news. Welcome in, everybody. Do you think I doubled my view count? Maybe. Yeah, I might have. It's definitely grown. And that's because of you guys. You guys help me to grow, and it expands the reach. So, thank God I hopped on. Why, Sneaky? Why? The time's running. The time's ticking out. If anybody wants to hear the Rust versus TypeScript song, you got to say something. I need to hear Tech Talk and had Theo in the background. Oh, that's understandable. Yeah, that's understandable. Completely understandable. Okay, well, I guess, Sergeant, you're not getting the Rust versus TypeScript song today. Sorry to break it to you. But not enough people want to hear it, so I'm going to have to save it for another day, Sergeant. But I have it. Nobody else said yes. Hey, what's up, Pure? Good to see you. Welcome in, everybody. Welcome to the Daily Tech News, episode 38. How are you all doing? What's up, Kevin? Hang on, Adam Learns Live. Yes, everyone. I'm sure everyone in your stream was asking for a Rust TypeScript song. I'm sure of it. What's up? Thanks, Adam. Thank you for the raid, man. You guys came in at exactly the right time. So for everybody watching on X and YouTube and Rumble and LinkedIn and all of that, I'm getting a raid on Twitch, Adam Learns Live. I highly recommend that you go check out Adam Learns Live. By the way, Adam, I hope you're doing well, and I hope you had a great stream and you got a lot done with the game. He's building a game called, and I hope I get the pronunciation correct, Skeleseller. You can wishlist it on Steam right now. And yes, LinkedIn does have streaming. And yes, if you want a wholesome tech content creator who codes away on an actual game and you want to watch the process of everything, the logic, the gameplay functionality, the art, the music, scenes, setting up like the sales process, all of it, the entire process. It is an eye-opening, wholesome, straightforward experience. I highly recommend that you go watch Adam Learns Live on Twitch. He's one of the few people that I still watch. I have like maybe 5 people I can count on one hand, the people that I watch, and Adam is one of them. And Adam has become an almost daily morning ritual for me. So shout out to Adam. Thank you for the raid. I appreciate it. That was definitely very cool and unexpected. If you do want to hear the Rust versus TypeScript song, I can play it for you, but I warn you, it is not for the faint of heart. I can play it for you, and then we can get into the daily tech news. The raid came in at exactly the correct time because I'm starting the tech news. So it's you have to like put your children away because it's pretty hardcore. So you don't actually want to hear the song unless a skeleton is singing it. Okay, fair enough. I guess Adam has spoken. Yes, FL does not stand for Florida. That's right. That's right. Okay, well then, Sergeant, you're out of luck. You're out of luck, Sergeant. Literally nobody but you wants to hear Epic Rap Battles of Programming 6. Nobody wants to hear Rust vs. TypeScript, so we'll play it another day. How about we get into the news? For the raiders who are coming in, normally what I do, I am building a video game similar to kind of like what Adam does, but in a very weird, convoluted, handcuffed way on purpose. It's a video game that I run on the browser. I use C, single header, C file, compile it to WebAssembly. I run it on the browser, and then I use vanilla HTML, vanilla CSS, vanilla JavaScript, literally no third-party libraries or frameworks, not even the standard lib for C. And I run it with the Chrome Canary version with hardware acceleration turned off. I have a whole bunch of videos. I have a year's worth of backlog building that. I'm getting back to that hopefully this weekend. I'm going to be doing some more of that. But daily, on the daily, I spend about an hour. I'm already almost 15 minutes into it. I spend about an hour going over daily tech news. And part of the reason why I do all this is because I want to show people who are watching me that I, a high school dropout who used to be homeless, lived inside of his car, slept on park benches and in trees at parks. I'm not kidding. I had to do that one night. That wasn't fun. Taught myself everything that I needed to know. And here I am today programming and trying to spread the message that we lack a very fundamental awareness of the principles of programming. And we have lacked this awareness for about 10 years. And this is why we see crappy software, crappy websites, crappy video games. Things are just getting worse in the tech industry, but you will have many, many people make you believe that you're too stupid to make it better, and you have to reach for libraries, frameworks, and abstractions in order to make it. And I'm here to tell you that no, that's not true. You don't need these things. And if a dummy like me, who didn't even finish high school because life would not allow me to do that, I had to leave home for my own safety. If I can do it, and I can build a video game like that, and I can cover news articles like this or tech topics like this and discuss them and whatnot, then so can you. And that's what I want people to get away from this. This information is meant to empower you, not just by covering the news as we're about to do in a minute. I also go into scientific articles. I have enlightened programming streams. It's literally called that on my YouTube channel, and there's a playlist for it, and it's scientific and academic journals that go into backing up exactly what I'm talking about, instead of just giving you anecdotal data or this is how I feel or I don't like frameworks because of this reason or that reason. I actually have evidence to back up my claims. And I do all of that plus lead by example by building the game the way that I'm doing it on purpose to prove the principle. We need you guys to step up. We desperately need you guys to step up. We need it desperately in this industry. Thank you, X Bentley, for the follow just now on Twitch. I appreciate it. All you need is assembly and time. Lots of time. I mean, ultimately, yes. Yeah. Okay. Shall we? Let's get into the news. Let's figure out what I'm talking about when I say unlearning your hot Chinese girlfriend. Boy, do I have some funny stuff today. All right. Let me take a second here, make sure I've got my news articles popped up correctly. Okay, we're going to start with a little bit of a fun one that is a little bit historical for me that I kind of enjoyed. So let me get the camera right. Oh, if only I was a professional streamer, right? If only. So I'm going to go over here, and then I'm going to go like this, and then I'm going to do whatever the heck this is. There we go. And then I'm going to, nope, that's not right. I messed it up. Okay, don't be like me. There we go. All right, here we go. Okay. That was my dolphin noise. That was... You're all welcome. That was my dolphin noise. Okay, a new Echo the Dolphin game and remasters are on the way. If anybody remembers Echo, okay, this game was fantastic when I was a kid. I loved playing this game. Anybody remember this? Yeah, there you go. If Spiro doesn't make his dolphin noise the sound in his game I'm writing, it shall be so, Adam. It shall be so. Echo is bonkers. The story is super dark. I never could figure out the goal of the game. I wandered endlessly. I won't ruin it. I would say if you haven't played it since you were a kid, go play it now. Go play it now. Absolutely go play it now. Go back and play it again, and you will see that there is... yeah, Laughley is right. There is a pretty dark storyline behind it. And yeah, no, it ain't fun. Okay? It ain't fun. So definitely do that. Now, as fun as this story or this initial news article that I'm covering is, I will say that I'm finding it disheartening to see people do remaster after remaster. I really think that it's kind of like the way that Hollywood went. I think we're witnessing the Hollywood version of the video game industry, where Hollywood couldn't do anything original, and so all they did was they remastered older good movies, or they did sequels many years after because they didn't have whatever for whatever reason they couldn't create new stuff. And I think this is what's happening to the video game industry, and it's disheartening, which is why, one more time, you should go watch Adam Learns live on Twitch. You should absolutely do that if you're not. Okay, that was the first one. It was just a little like intro just to, whet the appetite, so to speak. Let's get into this one. United Health has 1,000, that's right, 1,000. Yes, you're reading this right. 1,000 AI applications in production. And what are they? What are they for? United Health Group is reportedly increasing its use of artificial intelligence across its business. The company has 1,000 AI applications in production, the Wall Street Journal reported Monday, May 5th. It uses the technology in its insurance, health delivery, and pharmacy divisions. United Health's AI transcribes conversations from clinician visits, summarizes data, processes claims, and controls customer-facing chatbots. There's no way this could go wrong, right? There's no way this could go wrong. There's no issue with this, right? None whatsoever. In addition, roughly 20,000 of the company's engineers use AI to write software, according to the report. Bros, healthcare is cooked. Stay healthy and stay out of the hospitals. Half of these applications use generative AI, and the other half employ a more traditional version of the technology, said Chief Digital and Technology Officer Sandeep Dadlani per the report. United Health's push into the AI sector is happening as the company and the industry at large is facing increased scrutiny, the report said. And so, of course, they talk about the 404ing of the CEO, right? Legal attention. And so here we go. For example, a class action suit in 2023 accused United Health of using a flawed AI algorithm to evaluate and unfairly deny claims. Now, if you are a regular viewer of my channel, which, why on earth are you? What the heck? What's wrong with you? But if you happen to be a regular viewer of my channel, how about, let's put it this way. If you're not, go to my YouTube. You just look up my name, just look it up on YouTube, and go to the live tab, look at the Enlightened Programming playlist, or just search Daily Tech News under my live tab, okay? I go over actual scientific, academic, peer-reviewed studies, and I'm about to go over some today as well. We're going to cover another one where I demonstrate and prove. And by demonstrate, I mean I actually have gone with chat onto Chat Geppetto, like with chat viewer chat, and live go on Chat Geppetto, and I have proven that AI cannot understand how to code. It does not know how to code. I have proven that AI hallucinates, it lies, it is deceptive, it will double down on further lies. If you call it out and say, did you lie to me? It will say, no, I did not, so on and so forth. You take all of these problems and you package them all up into a healthcare system, and of course, it should be no shock. It should be no shock at all that this happens. And with 1,000 AI applications, it will only continue to happen. Last year, it gets worse. The World Health Organization introduced an AI health assistant, although there were some questions about its accuracy. Experts said chatbots could have an impact on the healthcare business, but their varying levels of accuracy raise crucial questions about their potential to support or hinder patient care. So obviously, when you train an AI system on high-quality, diverse data sets, and when the user prompts are clear and simple, you're going to get better answers. But that's no guarantee. However, when questions are more complicated or unusual, a medical chatbot may provide insufficient or incorrect answers. In some cases, a generative AI-powered medical chatbot could make up a study to justify a medical answer it wants to give. Cheers. Cheers. A little bit of coffee to help me get through this. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, well, there you go. There you go. This is pretty crazy. In case you're using Kubernetes, I just wanted to bring this one up as a quick little change of pace. If you are using the default Kubernetes Helm, then you can have your data exposed. Would you like the link? You got it, man. Just give me 1 second. There you go. Okay. So if you are using Kubernetes Helm, then please be careful, because there is apparently a default set of configurations that allow your data to be exposed. In many cases, Helm charts required no authentication, left exploitable ports open, and used weak or hard-coded passwords that were trivial to break. Now, the researchers here, who I won't try and pronounce their names, of Microsoft Defender for Cloud Research highlights 3 cases as examples of a broader security issue that puts Kubernetes workloads at risk. Now, I have long since said that Kubernetes was an idiotic, completely overcomplicated system that was entirely unnecessary. I've said that for a long time. People looked at me weird for about like a good solid year, especially colleagues. I wouldn't touch anything Kubernetes if I could possibly avoid it. I hated using it. And guess what? Textradamus, the prophet before you, was right. Before any of you even had the opportunity to be graced by my visual presence on your screens, embedded into your eyeballs. Okay? So what happens is that Helm is a package manager for Kubernetes, and charts are templates, blueprints for deploying apps on the platform, providing YAML files that define key resources needed to run an app. And when you do default configuration installs, right, kind of like this one, okay, this is kind of a typical thing you'll see as you implement Kubernetes and Docker stuff. You're going to have a YAML file that tells the Kubernetes containers how to orchestrate and deploy and manage themselves. And then you're going to potentially, depending on your setup, you're going to have a bunch of other services underneath that, right? That are being deployed either alongside that or inside of that. And these default configurations are unfortunately risky. So if you're using Kubernetes out there, stay safe. All right. Sometimes there are use cases for it. Like anything, there are use cases for it. I think the problem. I'll just take a minute. The problem with saying there are use cases for it is that it's not actually a legitimate argument, in my opinion, because you can come up with all kinds of scenarios that have a use case for something that you shouldn't actually use, that shouldn't actually exist. I have to kind of tailor that argument a bit. I've been thinking about it a lot because I find myself using it as well. Like for AI, I fully admit there are good use cases for it, but that's not like a logical argument for why something should exist just because there are use cases for it, if that makes sense. I have to figure that out. I have to figure that argument out. But in any case, it is what it is. 8 years of Kubernetes without incident? Yeah, Sergeant. I expect nothing less from a Rust developer. Burned. Dolphin noises. There you go. Okay. That was stupid. This one was very, very interesting. How are cyber criminals rolling in 2025? This was a very simple, straightforward article. We should be able to get through this relatively fast because it's mostly pictures. You can think of this as a picture book on how cyber criminals operate in today's age when apparently tech has never been better. Government departments are not known for their amazing cybersecurity posture. Couldn't they be utilized as free hosting providers? They sure can. And if you have a look at what he does here, he's literally Googling, it might be hard to see, site star.gov and in title full movie. And sure enough, he gets results out of Google where .gov, historyhub.history.gov/whatever, absolutely host PDFs that have this kind of scam stuff here. So yes, government websites are fully susceptible to this kind of junk. And it's international. Free Robux, which is a Roblox, digital coin thing from europa.eu, and he essentially does kind of a similar search. You can see again how it operates up here, right? And yeah, free Robux code, right? gov.br, europa.eu, everything. It's all there. So these are post-exploited. They're already out there. They've been taken over already. Yeah. How about universities? They have a lot of web-facing services, and while they do teach cybersecurity sometimes, they can't be that secure. They're not. Star.edu and in title, free OnlyFans. Free Robux. Yale.edu. vr.ashburyhouse.yale.edu. OregonState.edu. It might be hard to see on screen, but... And it continues. Surely our enterprise tools will flag these links and keep us safe, right? Who doesn't use an antivirus or a VPN? Nope. Nope. Here's why. I just want you to have a look at that. Here are the 2 pages. We saw this before, right? So cap.utah.edu and star.edu in title full movie, right? And surely they'll get picked up. Norton SafeWeb, completely safe. Zscaler, Zulu URL Risk Analyzer, benign. Yep. And more. Snow White, full movie. Is this link safe? All good. Literally, all good. All good, man. How about this? Public scan of this. Yeah, everything checks out. Everything's good. It's green. Scan 10 times. All good. But if we only allow access to a pre-approved list of domains, that should help, right? So we'll see. Does it work? No. No. It doesn't work. How are they exploiting the sites? Well, this is the end of the article, and we've covered this over and over again on these daily tech news streams, and we're about to cover some more. Are we covering that today? Not today. I think we've gone through all the cybersecurity issues for the day. We're gonna lean into the AI stuff now. All right. Now, Textradamus. I, Textradamus, the prophet of tech before you, molded by the tech gods and birthed into your streams, went over articles, scientific articles, for example, how spell checkers do not actually help you to spell check any better once you remove the ability to use a spell checker. In fact, in some cases, they make you a worse speller, let's call it that. Same thing with other automated industries where your skills do not translate beyond the automation. So you live within your skills are limited to within the automation that you learned the skills from in the first place. Skills rot at machine speed. AI is changing how developers learn and think. And I'm glad that I'm not the only person who's awakening to this. I called it months ago, and now people are starting to realize this. Adam Thornhill is a programmer who combines degrees in engineering and psychology. Adam is the founder of CTO of CodeScene. And what he describes here is that you need friction. That's what you need. You need to, in order for you to learn something and have it stick, you need a level of friction and frustration that doesn't outweigh the positives that you get from the learning experience. That's the key thing. So you want to be just frustrated enough to learn something, but not too frustrated so that you give up on it. AI, however, takes that entire process away and shortens that loop down to ask a question, receive an answer, away you go. So in essence, it replaces the entire learning process. If you want to think about it that way, the entire learning process is completely replaced by AI and ChatGPT. Now, he doesn't just say this from like a psychological perspective, right? He provides an actual study here. In late 2023, Professor Eric Klopfer, hang on one sec. I apologize. My throat. Okay, there we go. Okay, that helped. All right. In late 2023, Professor Eric Klopfer demonstrated this via a fascinating experiment at MIT. Klopfer split his students into multiple groups and assigned them the same programming task. One group was allowed to use ChatGPT, the other was restricted to old-school Googling and manual skill acquisition. Initially, the ChatGPT group outperformed the non-AI group. Uh-oh. By the way, Deanne Bull, I see the follow on Twitch. I appreciate it, man. That sounds bad, right? But then Klopfer introduced a twist. He asked the students to resolve the problem, but this time from memory. The roles quickly reversed. The ChatGPT group didn't remember anything and failed miserably. That I have been saying for a long time. And that's what I went over in previous studies on my Enlightened programming stream, where I literally covered the textile manufacturing industry and spell checkers as lateral indicators of exactly this problem. What happens when you remove the automation system away? You haven't learned a thing. And when you are dependent on that thing and for some reason it fails, let's say there's a power outage, you run out of tokens, you can't afford it, etc., etc. And that's the problem. And that's why I have said that a year from now, so now it's what? Like I've been saying this for about 2 months. So let's go with like February-ish 2026. By that time, we're going to see such negative impacts from AI that people are going to slow down and realize that it was a big mistake. At least to some degree. And when that happens, all of us programmers here who actually care about our craft and want to do good work, we're going to be the ones that everybody begs to join their companies. The only thing that you're going to be hearing on an hourly basis is the beep, beep, beep of the truck with bags of money, literally bags of money with a dollar sign on them, backing up onto your 12-bedroom mansion to drop off more money as you go and fix all the crap that nobody else can fix because they all relied on AI, which generated all the problems that you're fixing and which made it so that nobody was available to fix the problems further. So I'm glad that I'm not the only person who is seeing this. This is becoming more of a mainstream idea that these things are not good solutions to learning. So let's take this article now. So pocket this article away, right? And so this is a good article. Like, for example, to be effective problem solvers, we need to understand discrepancies, revise our assumptions, and adjust our mental representation of both models continuously. Okay, so pocket this away, and then let's see, where's the title for this one? Here we go. That's right. Over 250 CEOs sign an open letter supporting K-12 AI in computer science education. Now, I had to read this article a few times because I was wondering if they were talking about using AI as part of the process that students use to learn. This article in particular did not say that. So I will provide a positive view of this article. If these 250 CEOs are simply saying that students should be aware of how to use these things, how to use AI and how to use like computer science and learning what these things do and how they work and how to use them properly, that's fine. I'm actually okay with that. That would be a good thing. I would want students to be educated on these topics. What I don't want is students using these mechanisms to get through their schooling. That's a very different thing, right? Teaching students how to use a thing is very different than allowing them to use the thing as part of their teaching process because of what we just covered. However, unfortunately, there is a series of articles that have come out where ChatGPT is being heavily used and in some cases encouraged to be used as part of students going through courses. Investigating middle school students' question asking man, my throat. I apologize. Investigating middle school students' question asking and answer evaluation skills when using ChatGPT for science investigation. So here is an actual academic study that goes over whether or not students who used ChatGPT had good outcomes or bad outcomes as a result of educational processes. This study addresses the gap by examining middle school students' ability to use effective questions and critically evaluate ChatGPT's responses, two essential skills for active learning and productive interactions with Gen AI. 63 students aged 14 to 15 were tasked with solving science investigation problems using ChatGPT. Findings show that students often over-relied on ChatGPT in both the question asking and answer evaluation phases. Many struggled to use clear questions aligned with task goals and had difficulty judging the quality of responses or knowing when to seek clarification. As a result, their learning performance remained moderate. Their explanations of the scientific concepts tended to be vague, incomplete, or inaccurate, even after unrestricted use of ChatGPT. This pattern held even in domains where students reported strong prior knowledge. This part in particular stood out to me. Students who had strong knowledge of scientific mechanisms as part of their educational background had the same problem as students who didn't as a result of using ChatGPT. Another way to put this is that ChatGPT can take someone who is extremely knowledgeable and make them a dum-dum. Furthermore, students' self-reported understanding and use of ChatGPT were negatively associated with their ability to select effective questions and evaluate responses, suggesting misconceptions about the tool and its limitations. In contrast, higher metacognitive skills were positively linked to better QA-related skills. So that's the conclusion of the study, and you can just look up the title of the study, or if anybody wants a link, I can drop it, and you can see the process that they went through. However, just the fact that they gave unrestricted access to ChatGPT and provided a rubric by which these students needed to ask and formulate answers to scientific questions as part of their curriculum, and they still came up with subpar, at best, subpar answers. That is, I don't understand how you could be in favor of having students use ChatGPT as part of their learning curriculum. And they go over all the, all the math that they use, the questions that they use, the kinds of things that the students used, all of it. It's all here. Everything's there. Okay, so this was a very good article that ties into this whole thing. And unfortunately, more and more people are actually pushing for this. They like it. And what do you think this is going to lead to when you have students who go through, say, high school or college/university course, and they rely heavily on ChatGPT? What are they going to come out with? What kind of knowledge? The answer is pretty obvious. Now, here's another thing. Who writes better, students or ChatGPT? The answer might shock you. Let me see, chat. Who do you think writes better, students or ChatGPT? Anybody in chat? X, on LinkedIn, on Rumble, wherever. I see all the chats. The author of the terrible grammar of the students, Geppetto. Where are the students from? Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's see. Depends on the student. Okay. A new study says that humans are still much better at writing essays than generative artificial intelligence. Okay, so let's get to the meat and potatoes. A new study by the University of East Anglia, UK researchers has found that essays of the argumentative kind are still far from matching the quality of work produced by real students. The study, titled "Does ChatGPT Write Like a Student? Markers of Engagement in Argumentative Essays," and published in the journal Written Communication, compared the essays of 145 real students with those generated by ChatGPT. The findings reveal that student essays are significantly richer in the quantity and variety of engagement features, producing a more interactive and persuasive discourse, the study concludes. According to researchers, the ChatGPT-generated essays exhibited fewer engagement markers, particularly questions and personal asides, indicating its limitations in building interactional arguments. In short, these works lacked one critical aspect: personality. We found that the essays written by real students featured a rich array of engagement strategies, making them more interactive and compelling. These included rhetorical questions, personal digressions, and direct appeals to the reader, techniques that enhance clarity, communication, and argument strength. On the other hand, while ChatGPT's essays demonstrated linguistic fluency, they were more impersonal. We found that the essays written by real students featured a rich array of engagement strategies, making them more interactive and compelling. So even now, right now, students can still write better than ChatGPT, which is a LLM, large language model. And the reason why is because AI of any kind will never achieve the state of having the dynamic of an actual individual with their own perspectives and their own unique background, their own stories, etc., that they can imbue into a story that they tell, or an essay that they write, or even some code they create. You can think about it from a bit of a more creative perspective that way, and so on. Now, just to to tie this portion off. I covered an article. When was it? I can't remember. It might have been in week 2. We're on week 6 of the Daily Tech News. And I covered an article where there was some mention of having the AI. Oh, yes, I remember what it was. It's digitally copyrighted material. So what happens is somebody will make a claim that the AI is presenting copyright material and they would like it removed. And I covered that article. And then the article brought up an issue with that, which is if somebody makes a reference to copyrighted material, how do you determine the difference between the two so you know which one to remove inside of the data set? And that's about as deep as I got into that article. The problem with LLMs forgetting is, so much worse. Let's dig in, shall we? So there's an entire new field that is centered around helping LLMs forget stuff. Do they actually forget stuff? No. No, they don't. Here's why. I can't increase the font size without. If it's too small on screen, I apologize. I'll read it out. Hopefully that's good enough. Selectively removing data from a model without retraining it from scratch turns out to be challenging, both in cases where the model was trained on labeled data, as with traditional ML models, or raw data scraped from the internet, as with LLMs and other generative foundation models. The size of LLMs makes isolating and removing unwanted facts and concepts especially difficult. Because of the terabytes of data and tens of billions of weights, you have to essentially retrain the entire model. And not just the data set, but the weights themselves, so that the influence of the undesired data is adapted so that it can essentially forget it. That's not an easy thing to do. So there was a review paper, a scientific review paper, that went over this. So if you have hallucinating content, misleading content, toxic language, dangerous information, etc., you're going to want the model to forget this stuff, right? But it's not so easy when you have gigabytes upon gigabytes of data just for training and for influencing the model itself. The other thing is that you don't know which data you need to remove. Because once you scrape a copyrighted set of data, you have to determine the difference between somebody who covers some data that references copyright data versus the actual copyright data. So as a simple example, you can't just take a keyword out of the training data, do a regex on that keyword, and completely remove it. Now, what do they currently do? What is the current method of having an LLM forget data? The current method is exactly to influence the model. The data isn't actually gone. It continues to live in the data set because companies are unwilling to spend the time and money that's required to retrain the entire model with the data removed from the data set. So what they do is they influence the model to lessen the degree upon which the model references that data. However, the issue with this is that even if you could do that, well, you still have, let me see if I can find it. I can't remember where it was in this article, but they have it. They had it in this article. The issue with this is that because the data still exists, you are just one prompt away from re-accessing the data. even if the model is influenced to weight or prioritize forgetting certain things or not forgetting certain things, just prompt your way through that. And so this was a good example. Microsoft tested one of its unlearning algorithms by measuring how well it could forget copyrighted Harry Potter books. But one complicating factor was the many articles and social media posts that mention Harry Potter but aren't protected by IP laws should that information be erased. And that's if you could even erase the information to begin with. So this is a very serious problem. And let's just take a previous article we went over where Cloudflare demonstrated that, maybe it wasn't Cloudflare, but it was a recent study that demonstrated that over 57% of the internet this year, or maybe it was 2024, is bots. And a huge majority of that is AI bots that scrape the web. We've gone over that many times. We probably will go over it many times more. So think about all the data that lives out there. Do you honestly believe that if you find a piece of data that you want to remove, that it's going to get removed? There was another article that I went over where a poor man who lived in, I believe it was Denmark, went to ChatGPT, looked up his name, just said like who is, and then put in his name, and ChatGPT completely hallucinated an entire story where he apparently murdered a bunch of people. He 404'd them. And there was some widespread news about it in the town that he lived, and he was like jailed and stuff. Like this entire thing was just completely made up by ChatGPT. Now you ask OpenAI to remove that data. How are they even going to do that? How do you remove a hallucinated piece of data like that? So the entire concept of having an LLM forget something, I don't think it's even tenable. But sure, let's speed run. Let's speed run AI. Let's use it for everything. Let's replace entire companies, entire divisions with AI. Now, why did I bring up hot Chinese girlfriend? And we're going to get to this. This leads into the final article. Okay, one sec. Let me make sure I've got it properly pulled up here. First, I want that. Yes. Okay. So just to begin with, have you ever watched a TV show or a movie where there's like this tech guy and he's kind of like nerdy and quirky. He's not really that good looking, you know, and then he's at the bar and then this hot chick walks up to him and she's like all interested in him and she's like laughing at all his jokes and like, you know, doing the shoulder rub and like, oh my God, you're so cute. Tell me, what do you do for work? And he's like, I work at the super important, like top secret government agency facility. You know, it's really cool because he's like trying to show off, right? You know, because he thinks he has a shot with this like 10 out of 10 model, right? That is a typical sign. If you're ever in that position, I'm telling all the programmers out here, there's probably like, I don't know, not even one of you who are that good looking to pull a supermodel. If a supermodel walks up to you at a bar and starts laughing at all your jokes and like touching your shoulder and stuff and like flipping back her hair and all that, you're probably going to die. You're probably dead. There's probably an assassin waiting around the corner. You're probably going to get 404'd. Okay, it's just the truth. Now, straight out of the TV and movie industry, real life, kinda. I'm building up the story a little bit, but what if she likes React? Run the other way. You're chiseled? Yeah, sure, Lem. Yeah. Here we go. Oh, and this story is oh so good. It's oh so good. Let's get into it, shall we? Computer center IT guy let girlfriend into Deutsche Bank server room, says fired whistleblower. What was the plan? Showing her his big iron? A now former manager at Computer Center claims he was unfairly fired after alerting management that a colleague was repeatedly giving his girlfriend unauthorized access to Deutsche Bank's server rooms. Computer Center is a globe-spanning British IT services provider that in the USA operates computer systems for Deutsche Bank at the latter's New York offices. It's an IT supply deal said to be worth more than $50 million, and these computers are packed with millions of sensitive private banking records and transactions for hundreds of thousands of customers. In 2023, James Papa, the whistleblower, was a service delivery manager at Computer Center, and Deutsche Bank was one of his clients in the U.S. The New Jersey man claims he was fired in July that year after raising concerns that one of the Computer Center workers he supervised at Deutsche Bank repeatedly had let his Chinese girlfriend, Jenny, into the bank server rooms without permission. China rears its head again. Do you guys remember? Do you guys remember the Alex Jones conspiracy theory? Do you remember that? I don't know if any of you remember, but a few weeks ago, I had an entire unhinged rant. I went on an Alex Jones conspiracy theory mode, just the one, and I laid out exactly how nation states like China and Russia and others love the fact that we use abstractions to build absolute crap code, as we have been in the last 10 years, because we lose the ability to determine what's safe anymore, what's good, what's performant, etc., and they can run circles around us. And what they do, in my conspiracy theory, what they do is they promote these practices by investing in them, by having companies that kind of like work through them to invest in them, by having international standards push these kinds of things, which I actually did go and prove. And I just want to bring up, I just love showing this. You guys know about Huawei, right? Huawei is super Chinese, right? Hey, look, who are some of the platinum members of the Rust Foundation? Huh. Interesting. And now we have Chinese girlfriends who are hitting up Deutsche Bank workers, being like, yo, why don't you show me the server room? Oh, but boys, it ain't over. It ain't over. The worker also allegedly allowed his 40-something partner to use his laptop and work account while it was plugged into the Deutsche Bank IT network. According to the lawsuit, there's CCTV evidence that shows the bank's security team let Jenny into the server room with her boyfriend without formal authorization in a clear breach of protocol. These visits occurred repeatedly from March to June 2023 on days Papa, the supervisor, was not on site, even after Papa told the employee to knock it off. Papa further alleges he learned, you ready? That Jenny has significant computer expertise, informed management of the security breach, and advised them to disclose it to American securities watchdog, the SEC. However, once he blew the whistle, he was fired. Now, there is a lawsuit that has been filed, okay? And I had to go dig into the lawsuit because you know me, I'm nothing if not extremely research driven, all right? I literally pulled up and read the lawsuit. I'm not kidding. I did this for you guys, okay? Send me those subs. Send me the subs. Send me the likes. Send me all your dollar bills because I had to spend an inordinate amount of time reading this crap so you didn't have to. Now, guess what else I found out? It wasn't in the article. Guess what else I found out? I'll just scroll down a little bit. I know where it is, but I just want to, just give you guys a second. Maybe some of you will guess what I found out. Yeah, so there it is. Oh, wait, what? Wait, what? Wait, what's this? Wait, what? Hang on, folks. Almost immediately after making his whistleblower report to Computer Center and Deutsche Bank, Mr. Papa learned that Jenny was a Chinese citizen with significant IT expertise, and that the employee and Jenny had traveled together to China in June 2023, shortly after Jenny had been illegally permitted to access headquarters and the tech rooms. God. Bros. I have 2 questions. 1, I hope this guy got laid. I really hope this guy got laid, because after what this bro went through to get this Chinese chick, okay. And second of all, how easy was it to get this worker to do this? I mean, just imagine, this is straight out of the TVs and movies. What kind of a question does Chinese Jenny come up to you and say, like, how does that even happen? It happens straight out of the movies. That's exactly how it happens. He's probably at the bar. Okay. He's probably having a drink. Hot Chinese Jenny comes up to him like, hey, where do you work? She already knows. She already knows where he works. She already knows what he's doing. And he's like, oh, you'll know. Yeah. He's like, oh man, I can't believe it. This Chinese girl is really into me. I work at Deutsche Bank. Yeah. I have access to all the server rooms. You can plug in, baby. Bros, I can't. Well, there you go. That does it. That does it for the tech news for the day. Okay. Can you imagine the dirty talk, the pillow talk that they had for those 3 months? Those 3 months of probably unimaginable bliss for this nerdy, probably not so good looking guy who has this hot girl like just fawning over him. Imagine the pillow talk. Oh, I can't wait to plug into your Deutsche Bank, baby. Yeah, plug it in harder. And then part way through, the guy gets so excited he just does pulls like a dolphin sound. He's just like ee. USB-C. I might be projecting just a little bit. Okay, I might actually be projecting. So anyways, there you go. Thus the thanks, Frozen. Thank you for the sub. I was kidding about the money. I was kidding. I don't. Well, wait. One of us. I appreciate it, Frozen. I really do. So listen, folks. Listen. That's it. That's the Daily Tech News. I appreciate everyone being here, and I just want to thank you all again for the support that you're all giving me. It's been a pretty wild ride, and I'm a bit shocked at how much support I get. There's just one more little thing, and then here, this one. Definitely have a look at this. Daniel Stenberg of Curl has been inundated with AI security report submissions, which are so poor that he literally had to go and make a big rant about not doing that anymore. He won't accept it anymore. So have a look at that. It's a very short, fun rant about like banning instantly anyone who submits reports we deem AI slop, right? So that was kind of a fun thing. And I just want to show one more thing. Hang on, let me do this right. Because of all your support, I have reached, here you go. Look at those sub numbers. And that's in no small part at all, because of you guys and the support that you give. Watching, chatting, it helps the engagement, hitting the like, doing the subscribe and stuff, all of that stuff, resharing, reposting on X, everything. These are huge numbers. And what this tells me is that I'm reaching a lot more people. And the last few weeks, I've had several people reach out to me privately and tell me that they agree with a lot of what I'm saying and they wish that it was more prominent in mainstream. You guys are making it mainstream. You guys are making the message that I'm trying to present here mainstream by supporting me the way you do. And I really appreciate that. It's awesome to see it. And the message is just, the industry sucks right now and we need programmers to step up. We need you guys to learn more fundamentals. It's not that hard. It's really easy. If I can do it, so can you. Watch out for hot supermodels who approach you at the bar. You're most likely going to get 404'd. Okay, just be careful of that. Aside from that, and if you, and if you're going to accept that premise, at least have a good night before you die. Do you know what I mean? Like get a good night out of her. At least if you don't even get that, bro, you're just, what the hell are you doing? Okay. That's my advice, life advice to you. Listen, everyone, thanks again. I appreciate it. You guys are all awesome. I will see you tomorrow for another Daily Tech News. I hope to do a video game stream this weekend because I have a lot of stuff I want to show you guys and work on and have a chill stream. You guys are awesome. I will catch you hopefully in less than 24 hours. Hopefully. We'll see. No, Frozen. I appreciate all of you. You guys are great. Okay, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, stay safe out there, please. Stay safe. Peace out. I got to do the right piece. And I'll do my proper outro. You guys suck. All of you suck. You're all a bunch of losers. You all suck. Okay, I don't like any of you. I know I come across like I like chat. Nope, I don't like chat. I don't like any of you. You're all a bunch